What is up, guys? I was watching the Whatever Dating podcast with Brian Atlas from Whatever. He's been making videos for a long time. He has one of the really best channels on YouTube, I think. He has some really funny videos, such as, playing Pokemon in the library with the loud music on and all that stuff. Really funny video. He has a lot of good stuff, such as, social experiments, asking 100 girls for sex, and then, a girl asking 100 guys for sex. And he made some just really good classic stuff. But he's now focusing on a podcast, and, it's pretty much a copy of The Fresh and Fit, which I've never really spent a ton of time watching it, but I know what it is, and I've seen it a little bit. Brian decided to basically copy that. Brian seems to have prettier girls on there, I feel like. He seems to get prettier girls than The Fresh and Fit. And it's a good show. It's interesting to watch, and I really like it. However, the show's been having a lot of problems lately, and I don't know how much longer Brian's going to do it. I think he's making a lot of money on it. I mean, he's making ridiculous donations. But, just on the show tonight, it's 5:31:23 right now here tonight, and he had what was going to be his last show for a while because he was going to take a break for 3 weeks, mainly due to some health problems he was saying, like a neck problem, things like that. His back issues, he's been telling people that he has those issues, and I'm sure he does, and I'm sure they suck to have, etc., etc. But he's going to take some time, and maybe he just needs a mental break too. Maybe that's more of a big part of it. Maybe he's just like, you know what, I've been doing this a lot lately. Let me take a break. He's having a lot of flaking problems with the girls he has on there and stuff, so it's just a big problem and stuff like that. But anyways, where was I going with this? I had some very important things to say, actually. Yeah, so during the show tonight, one of the girls, Brian kicked her off, and I wanted to listen to the whole thing, but he made the damn video private. I'm like, man, and plus I was a little bit behind on the video too. Typically this is my strategy, and it's a beautiful strategy. It works out very well. And this actually goes for most things I watch, actually. I start later. So I started this show about 45 minutes late. I start from the top, but I put it on 1.5 times speed. And I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, you guys can let me know in the comments how this works out. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. But I was like, if I start 45 minutes late and I go 1.5 times speed, how long will it be until I'm actually live on the show? And my initial thought was, well, it's probably 45 times 2. Because I'm 45 minutes late. I'm going 1.5 times speed, so after an hour and a half, I'll be caught up to exactly where I was. And also, yeah, I need to redo the math. I think I got it wrong. It could be actually something different. It could be actually, I might be way wrong on that. It might be 45 times 3 or 4. I got to go back and really think about that, actually, because, time, of course, lapses as well. Anyways, that's what I do. That's not the point of this video. I really like doing it. I was very close to live. Like I said, I started, 45 minutes late. I was only 7 minutes from live, and then the damn video got cut off. I was out doing stuff, dishes, in fact, and then I heard all this commotion about a nip slip, or like an intentional nip slip. This same girl actually had a nip slip earlier in the podcast. She was just sitting here, and her boobs were just falling out of her shirt. I don't think she even noticed it. It was crazy. And I'm like, how does Brian not see that? It's right there. Both of her nipples were showing. And then Brian finally came over and gave her a shirt, and then a flannel shirt. Then she wore that, and it was all fine. But she was challenging him. Excuse me. She was challenging him later on in the show about how he doesn't pay for the bills, on first dates and stuff. And, I have my own opinions on this, too. I understand Brian's point of view and everything like that. But, gosh, yeah. Maybe you shouldn't be such a hard ass about all this stuff, to be honest. I know he makes all this kind of money, and it's just it's the principle of it. I don't want to be spending $10 for a girl that's with me but fucking somebody else. I get it, but many times you have to you have to, you have to give yourself a chance to like take that girl away from these other things. It's the society we live in. Are these many times women are, yes, they're sleeping with 3, 4, 5 guys, and that's just kind of how it freaking is. You can either play the game or not, right? You can just stay out of that and say I'm not going to do it, or you can wait for the the rare girl that's just not really doing that, or maybe that's not even that rare, but where he lives, it's pretty damn rare in California. I think it's kind of a free for all over there. There's no one that really is too taken for the dating market. It's just kind of like a free for all. My friend in New York told me the same thing. He's like, not many people date here, but people are just fucking like crazy here, So it's kind of how that works. So Brian just is very bitter about the game. He doesn't want to pay for any girls. He's a big hard ass. He's like that. But yeah, anyway, he's been having a lot of problems with the show lately in terms of girls flaking. He's been having problems like here tonight. He's been kicking people off and all this bad stuff. People are kind of targeting him too, I heard. I don't know what really that means, but death threats he said he's been getting and all this type of thing. Brian is a very smart dude. This is just my own personal opinion. Brian's a very smart dude. I look at him and I see a lot of him in myself, actually. I think we'd be really good friends in real life. And we also share some similarities that he's kind of a huge hothead. I'd say way more so than I am, actually. He's a huge hothead, and he maybe doesn't respond to the stress well many times. He needs to figure something out with that, find a way to be more chill. I know it's not easy. I know he goes out through a lot of shit. But you can definitely see that he cares a lot about it, and yeah, I don't know, maybe he just needs to relax a little bit. Like, for example, you can tell he's just very caught up with it. Hey guys, is the audio okay? He asks that over and over and over. He wants to give you guys a good product, and I think I always enjoy watching it. I look forward to those shows being on. But I do think Brian needs to do a little bit of reflection about what he's doing wrong there. And I can't say I know all the answers either, but I think he's got to work on some things there that would work for that show better. I know he doesn't have the best people to deal with too. He's dealing with these women that are flaking and doing stupid crap and not following rules and stuff like that. I've been there. I've done that type of stuff. In my own personal life, for example, I'm a condo president, so I take care of various things around the place that I live. And working with people and having people collaborate with you and cooperate can be extremely frustrating and very hard to get people to do. And sometimes we need to kind of come together to do things. Quick case in point is our boiler broke down, and I wanted to do some tests in the summer to make sure our heater would work once the winter came, because the winters here are terrible. We have negative 20-degree days and worse. And so we can't have no heat. And so I wanted to test the boiler and make sure everything was ready to go after we had it fixed. But, people don't really tell you if they're doing the tests, and they don't really communicate, and people are kind of checked out, and they just want to be left alone. And that's like the big unfortunate part of condos and stuff like that. In Brian's case, though, I definitely think I assume he's paying these girls. Maybe it's just for free. Maybe he's not paying them anything. Actually, that very well could be. Maybe he's just maybe he's just displaying their name on there and they can advertise their Instagram and stuff. That's pretty likely as well. But yeah, definitely I think Brian has to figure some stuff out if that show wants to keep going. Maybe get some more helpers. I know he has Chase on there a lot. Chase is really cool. He's really good. Chase is a lot more calm, I feel. He's more level-headed, maybe. Of course, it's not Chase's show either. He doesn't have as much on the line. But yeah, Brian, maybe you'll watch this. Maybe you'll watch this and you can take something from it. Like I said, I don't know all the answers, but yeah, you got to kind of think of some things here. Work on yourself and just maybe rewatch the replays and say, okay, how could I have done that differently? Was I right? Am I acting good? Am I acting in a good way? Things like that. Certain times, I think there's just nothing you can do. Like, for example, on the show here tonight on 531, early on, a girl was tapping her hand against the table, and Brian asked her, hey, can you please... Well, maybe you should have said it better. You could have said, "Hey, can you please stop tapping your hands? It's distracting." Maybe just the word please would have made all the difference there. But that something you did, I don't even know what it was, but I watched the show in the last time she was on. She was talking all the time. She was a good guest, but she somehow just took huge offense to what happened and basically stormed off the damn show. So that was a really weird thing. I'd like to go back and see that one again and what the heck all happened. Maybe it was something about how you delivered that, stop doing that type thing. But basically the point of the video is, yeah, the Whatever podcast is crazy. It's kind of a big clusterfuck right now. I hope Brian can figure some stuff out and continue the show. It doesn't have to be as often as it has been, though, Brian, by the way. I'll just talk straight to you here. Viewers can let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but 2 times a week is fantastic. I love it. I look forward to it. But to be honest, you don't need to do that, man. Just once a week is great. Honestly, even once every other week would be fine. It would still be very popular and people would look forward to it. I don't think you got to do as much volume, especially because it's such a hard show to get people to show up to and stuff like that and all the problems you have. It seems like the Fresh and Fit podcast, when I watched that just the other day, it seems like they must have reserves because, yeah, they had so many people on the show. It must have been like close to 20 people that was on the show. So, yeah, I don't know, Brian. Video's kind of going long here. I just wanted to say some of the things I've been noticing with the show. It's a lot of fun. It is definitely kind of like the show right now to watch on YouTube, I feel. I've been keeping track of it a lot. I've been telling my friends about it. It's really good stuff. I like it a lot. And I could talk more about Brian's opinions too, about the, various things that happen and stuff like that. But I'm just going to leave the video right there for now. So maybe in the future I might make another one. But for now, we're going to leave it right there and just say, hopefully this podcast can figure some things out. So the latest podcast got taken down. Maybe they might edit out the bullshit. But yeah, it got taken off the air. So yeah, a lot of crazy shit going on. It's pretty wild. I'm sure Brian sees way more than we do about all the bullshit he has to deal with. I know he does. And it probably explains his behavior and stuff like that. But like I said, I think about how the way I handle some stuff too, and some of the things I'd like to do differently. And I would just kind of recommend doing the same thing with yourself. Do some inner reflection about, okay, how could I have handled this? I see other people that are just a lot more calm and level-headed. I'm just like, oh, maybe I should be a little bit more like that. I've done the same thing in my own life too. So I try not to take so much offense when people are not cooperating with me, because I kind of take it as disrespect so many times. It's like, geez, like what the heck? Do these people just not like me? What's going on? In like the condo situations, what I'm talking about here. It's like, man, I'm elected the president, yet nobody's freaking playing ball here. I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to make things right. Like, where's the cooperation? What the heck? A bunch of deadbeats, right? I try to like tone that back and just say, okay, I get it. No one wants to be bothered. I get it, etc., etc. But yeah, it's tough like that. Anyway, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.